Hello guys, welcome back to my channel once again here on YouTube. Today it's time for WCW Sin 2001 custom DVD review. So there we have it. This was from January 14th, 2001. 6,617 in attendance that day. Let's have a look at the cover artwork then first of all. So we have Goldberg and DDP at the bottom there, and Scott Steiner and Sting at the top. I guess this was the original poster they were going to use, that they did use, sorry, advertising months prior to the pay-per-view itself. But obviously Sting and DDP, no, sorry, not DDP, just Sting wasn't on this pay-per-view. So we have the WCW logo there with a different kind of font mixed in with the Sin logo they used. That's the spine and the disc. And as with the other custom WCW DVDs, my friend done a good job of this one as well, which I'm very pleased about. So yeah, as I said before, January 14th, 2001, from Indianapolis, Indiana. Oh, I fucking suck at trying to pronounce names. But yeah, Indiana, let's just go with that. So let's go for the matches then, guys. So obviously we have our World Heavyweight title match, Fatal 4-Way. So we have Scott Steiner versus Jeff Jarrett versus Sid Vicious versus a mystery opponent. No DQ tag match, Goldberg and the Sarge versus Totally Buff. United States Championship match, First Blood chain match. So we have the Franchise versus General Rection. WCW Tag Team title match, The Insiders versus the Natural Born Thrillers. WCW Hardcore title match, Terry Funk versus Meng versus Crowbar. Penalty box match, Team Canada versus the Filthy Animals. WCW Commissioner match, Mike Sanders versus Ernest the Cat Miller. Evan Courageous and Jamie Noble versus the Young Dragons. Big Vito versus Reno. And WCW Cruiserweight title match, Chavo Guerrero Jr. versus Shane Helms. So I'll start with picking my top three matches I enjoyed on this pay-per-view first of all. So from third to first then. So third, I had First Blood match for the United States title, General Rection versus Shane Douglas. Very entertaining match, surprisingly. I don't like any of the participants in particular, but the match itself I really enjoyed as a wrestling match. I scored that one a 3.5 out of 5. In second place, Evan Courageous and Jamie Noble versus the Young Dragons, 3.5 out of 5. I scored that one as well, and that was a very entertaining match. And my first choice, my favourite match on this pay-per-view was Chavo Guerrero defending his Cruiserweight Championship against Shane Helms. This was a 5 out of 5 match. I scored it. So let's talk about some pros and cons then. Pros, I go with Elix Skipper's Matrix style reflexes in his match, Filthy Animals versus Team Canada in that penalty box match. The rules for that are very strange to explain. You'd have to watch the match to understand. I couldn't really follow them. I tried best I could to follow the rules. It just seemed every time someone put their hand on a referee or broke a rule of some sort, they'd had to spend, I don't know, a minute or so inside the penalty box, and the box just become jam-packed with near enough every team member, and it was just getting stupid, and you're getting like 3-on-1 beatdowns and stuff. Yeah, but yeah, Elix Skipper's Matrix style reflexes, ducking a clothesline, for example, very impressive stuff. Another pro, Leia Meow's revealing outfit. She accompanied the Young Dragons to the ring like a valet, but yeah, very good, and I had to put that in the pros. Definitely worth mentioning. Also, some great matches other than the top three I already mentioned. Not all of them were great, but there were a few other good ones in there as well. The cons, having Meng win the hardcore title only for him to leave the company a week or so later and show up at the 2001 Royal Rumble as one of the 30 participants. This to me was obviously a bad booking choice, but I personally would have had Terry Funk retain that hardcore championship, so I put that under cons because, yeah, it just didn't seem fitting to me. Also, Goldberg been given an order by management to match his 177-0 win-loss record to be granted another world title shot, only to lose his match against Totally Buffed. It was painful to watch. Treating the company's top star this way just felt ludicrous. And I appreciate that this was Goldberg's final appearance for WCW, as he was taking time off for shoulder surgery. But you could see how disappointed the fans were as well if you watched them after the pinfall loss. It's just why do that to your company's top star? Just absolutely bizarre. So yeah, I had to put that in the cons. Also, the world title main event match, which I will elaborate on now in my conclusion. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, this was that Sin pay-per-view, or that pay-per-view, where Sid Vicious had the most horrific injury in wrestling happen to him. After months of being pressured by Johnny Ace stroke John Laurinaitis to perform a jumping kick from the second rope, as Sid was told to the crowd were going to love it and it will make him a bigger star if he was to pull it off. He finally thought to himself, oh yeah, let's give it a go. So Sid finally tries it that night, only for him to crash land awkwardly on his leg, causing it to completely snap and flop around inside of his boot. Absolutely gross as shit. You don't actually see the incident happen until it replayed on the following evening's Nitro. I watched it back for the purpose of the video, but I do warn any of you guys who go looking for it on YouTube or whatever, just prepare yourselves, as it's very distressing and disgusting. The fact that they continued the match and Sid must have been in shock by the time the match had ended, or during, not long after he'd broken his leg, I'm sure he was in shock, but leaving it as long as they did, it was ridiculous. The mystery fourth opponent, Animal, spoiler alert, sorry guys, nobody introduced let's try again. Nobody, including myself, gave a fuck about the fourth mystery opponent, Animal. We were more concerned about Sid and why he was still lying on the floor. We didn't see what had happened, us fans at home, because it had cut away from what had happened. We didn't learn until the night after what had happened. But if you see it from my point of view, guys, it's just absolutely horrible to watch. And this main event, it has to be arguably the worst in WCW history. It's just the way it all played out, and that tragic shit happened. Sorry, I can't get my fucking words out today. But yeah, it was absolutely terrible. Honestly, guys, I don't know what to say. Nothing else I can describe how horrific it was. Anyway, so Sin replaced Sold Out as January's pay-per-view. Hence why I've got the little display in the background with the previous 2 years or previous 2 January's pay-per-views. The look and logo and the arena setting look pretty badass, but let down by that tragic main event. It's such a shame, really. Really don't want to think about it again. It was that bad, honestly, guys. Overall score, then, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10, because there were matches in there I did like. Most of them, to be honest with you, but as I said, that main event, the main event is usually what you pay for when you want to watch a pay-per-view, or you go to the pay-per-view, you pay your ticket to watch the main event, and you obviously appreciate some of the undercard as well, if not all of it. But yeah, this one, it's definitely not one of the best pay-per-views I've ever seen of WCW, but the rest of the pay-per-view can't be blamed for the main event itself. That's why I've given it a score of 5 out of 10. But worst main event in WCW history, definitely up there with Halloween Havoc 1998, which I need to revisit at some point as well, just to be sure. Yeah, feel free to like, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and comment. Sorry about all my stuttering and trying to get all my words out. I'm trying to read from all my notes at the same time as trying to explain everything. Is becoming a bit awkward today. Yes, you look after yourself, guys, and thank you very much for joining me for this today. Stay safe, and I'll see you again soon. Peace.